Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Annie, and this is Unity Consciousness. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I'd like to welcome any new subscribers and also thank those of you returning for this week's energy update. Before we jump in, I do want to take a moment and remember those who sacrificed their lives for the sake of their country. This is a weekend for remembrance, and I choose to do so. Thank you so much. Now let's jump right in. As we know, the big energy of this past week was Saturn entering Aries. Such pivotal energy, such an extraordinary time for us to really excavate and understand our pure essence. It's the responsibility of understanding our pure essence. Saturn into the sign of Aries really is an opportunity for us to shed ourselves of any areas or boundaries that we have, any areas or places where we have created boundaries that are truly self-imposed, and it's a choice to continue those boundaries, and it's an opportunity for us to shed ourselves of those boundaries for the sake of understanding our pure, true essence. Saturn in Aries. Taking responsibility for that, choosing ourselves, choosing our essence, and choosing things that align with that pure essence. When we are born as humans, we are unlike other species that they can be born and thrive. They don't require any assistance to do so. We, as humans, are born and require someone to help us thrive, whether that is eating, whether that is sleep, whether that is getting a schedule, and then as we move on, we go to school and we learn there about more things, and then if our parents had religious practices, we go there and we learn more. We're just a sponge and a sponge and a sponge of information. So through all of that conditioning, there are certain mechanisms that are ingrained in our being that begin to shroud our pure essence. And I truly believe Saturn in the sign of Aries is going to help us understand where those boundaries exist so that we can make a choice to shed those boundaries and really align with our pure essence at a very high dimensional level. There are certain things that were important for us to systems and boundaries and all sort of things for the sake of protection that we needed to have in place to keep us safe. But as we know as well, that we have choice now. We are the human race, and we have choice. We have guides that want to assist us each and every single day, and we set an intention that's X, any intention whatsoever. But this conditioning that came on the minute we were born is going to override, because it's a choice of conditioning that is going to override any intention or our guide's ability to carry through what that intention was. So in order for us to work effectively with our guides from an essence standpoint, we really need to shed ourselves of some of these boundaries, most of which are for our own safety or conditioning of safety, so to speak, or scarcity for that matter. If we grew up with scarcity or overzealous religious beliefs that put boundaries on us, they're going to be shown to us so that we can shed these boundaries so that our true, pure essence can emerge. And we can understand who we truly are. We are reclaiming our power, taking ownership and responsibility for reclaiming the power of our true essence. That's Saturn in Aries, as was channeled to me in a very small condensed box. So today's energy, we have Mercury is going home to the sign of Gemini, and then will almost immediately sextile Saturn in Aries. So Gemini energy, we talked about it. It is very social energy, good for creative writing and the ability to see the other side of something, because it's the sign of the twins. So mirroring or having a conversation with someone and, oh, hey, that reminds me of me. But it could also be someone showing you something that you don't necessarily like about yourself either. That's the power of a Gemini twin that creates a pivot. Gemini energy is mutable. It pivots, it changes quickly, and there can be some shape-shifting here as well. But Gemini is a very creative, very social energy. So Mercury here, and then sextiling Saturn in Aries, is the ability to observe ourselves, because it's the twins, it's the sign of the twins, with detachment, bringing opportunities to make choices that align with our pure essence. So being able to observe ourselves with detachment. I love that. That is the power of Gemini energy right there. Truly love that. Bringing opportunities, which again, we've got another week, new moon just the very next day. So new opportunity, bringing opportunities to make choices that align with our pure essence. Then, like I said, the very next day, we have a new moon in the sign of Gemini that is ruled by that Mercury that just rolled into the sign of Gemini. That's going to occur at just after 11 p.m. here in the Eastern time zone. And in addition to having that sextile convo with Saturn, it's going to trine Pluto. How beautiful. And that is going to add truth and authenticity to any opportunities that are being offered. So through truth and authenticity, knowing who you are at a pure essence level, shedding any boundaries that need to be shed, now opportunities are going to come in that are really going to match and mirror that energy. It's very enlightening, a very fresh new moon, very much. I love it. And Mercury is also conjunct Sedna. Sedna is at 1 degree of Gemini. And we've talked about her before, but she is creating space for that metamorphosis. It's the twins, it's the pivots, but she's creating space for the metamorphosis with a special emphasis on patriarchal wounding, if in fact that even presented or presents in your world. So patriarchal wounding, deep metamorphosis relative to that can also be a part of the realizations that come in. The sextile to Neptune in Aries as well brings forth that shape-shifting piece of Gemini, because they pivot, right? You can pivot really, really easily, but you can shape-shift as well. So a true Gemini, knowing their pure essence, can sit with someone and can recognize that other person's essence, knowing their own, but learn from that other person's essence, and then adopt that essence into their own, creating a really fun shape-shifting. It's almost like an alchemy type of energy, but I would say alchemy is more on the Scorpio spectrum, but it is very much like an alchemy type activity that's occurring here, because Gemini has that ability to shapeshift. Now, the 3D side of Gemini shapeshifting is reading the room and pivoting that true essence. You're not coming from that Saturn and Aries standpoint, but you are pivoting that essence as a shapeshifter so that you can match your environment and fit in, so to speak. So just kind of be mindful of that. But we can witness others, and then what we witness in others, we can then adopt and integrate into our essence, should we choose to. I love that. That, like I said, that's Gemini energy. And, that healthy detachment is also here, stepping away. It may be you want to witness others, but it may be you having healthy detachment to kind of mindfully watch your actions so that you can pivot or make some changes within yourself. Because we are remembering Aries energy. We got Neptune there, got Ceres there. We have Saturn now there. We are remembering at a soul level now why we are here and our soul's purpose, our pure, true essence. And new opportunities are going to arrive through intentions and aligning with your true, honest, authentic, pure essence. All these things are working together, and I love it. Now, on, I believe it's Tuesday and Thursday this week, Black Moon Lilith is going to jump into the mix. So Black Moon Lilith is in Scorpio, and she's going to create a yod to the sextile energy between Gemini and Aries. And what she's bringing to the mix through that quincunx energy is it's complicated because it's Black Moon Lilith and it's Scorpio. Now we're getting a little bit more of the alchemy too. She is presenting a complicated situation, but through the death and rebirth cycle, she has the promise of transformation and the liberation that comes along with that. And I truly do love that. So self-reflection and detachment, healthy detachment, that remembering and awareness, even though it might be complicated because we have all different energy here. We've got water energy now, we've got air energy, and we've got fire energy. They don't work well together. But we can, being the alchemist that we are, use this energy to our advantage. And that's the fun of a yod and unlocking a yod. Then on Friday, this all really comes together. It may be, I'm not quite sure what it's about, or I want to perform healthy detachment and create new opportunities for myself, or maybe there's a new opportunity that comes in that you can't really get your head wrapped around or don't really see that it's as advantageous as it truly is until Friday. Because you know why? The Sun and Mercury are going to conjunct in the sign of Gemini. And this is going to bring an aha moment or a light bulb moment where, like I said, everything's really coming together. That self-observation, the alchemy, healthy detachment, awareness, and boom, now things are starting to make sense. Then 1 week from today, on the 1st of June, my goodness, June's here already, we will have Chiron is going to conjunct Venus, and Chiron and Eris are working together in the sign of Aries. So all three of these planets are in Aries, and this is all about radical change, the need for individual sovereignty. It's blending with self-care and self-love. Venus is kind of softening things up here. And because we have the moon in Leo at that time, it's taking time for you. And that's coming front center stage, that I need to take time for myself. I'm worth it. I showing yourself self-love, understanding that there's been some processes that you've gone through in a very short period of time, whether that's self-reflection, whether that's observation of others, healthy detachment, awareness. It's all providing valuable insight to bring in new opportunities, or for you to recognize the new opportunities that are in the reality of your sphere of consciousness. Okay? Well, that's all I have for you this week. I will not be able to provide an energy update 1 week from today. I'll see how things pan out. It might be a day or two late. Please keep, my son is having some significant challenge, and I would appreciate you keeping both him and I in your thoughts and prayers as I travel to him and bring him home for treatment. So thank you so much. I appreciate your thoughts and prayers at this very challenging time. I decided to use the Dragon Oracle deck because of the Aries energy, with Saturn just going in there and Neptune there. We've got some outer planets we need to work with, and I thought, well, let's bring the dragons in and see what they've got for us. And the card that jumped out was Golden Atlantean Dragons. The seventh dimensional Golden Atlantean dragons hold the keys and codes of the awesome wisdom of Golden Atlantis. The golden era of Atlantis lasted for 1,500 years, and during this time the people lived in harmony and happiness at the upper level of the fifth dimension. Humans, animals, and the land itself radiated a golden aura, and everyone enjoyed soul satisfaction. Source energy powered the great crystal held in the Temple of Poseidon, which was the power source for civilization. The awesome spiritual technology of Atlantis was activated by crystals and mind control. We are ready to bring back our innate Atlantean knowledge and wisdom. Golden Atlantean dragons will come to us and reactivate the gifts and talents and information held within our DNA. Guidance. This card invites you to activate your own personal fifth dimensional blueprint, for it contains the light of the incredible era of Golden Atlantis. The Golden Atlantean dragon who has come to you now worked directly with all the great masters of Atlantis during the halcyon days and remembers exactly who you truly are. Prepare to reclaim your mastery. You are ready to dissolve the final veils of amnesia, and your dragon will assist you to do so. Ask it to breathe its golden fire into your third eye so that the final clearance and awakening can take place. Your dragon will then remain with you and shine light into you as you prepare to stand in your power as an Atlantean master. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked this video, please click the like button. If you have any comments or suggestions, post them in the box below. If you want to know when videos are being dropped, click the subscribe button. You know, I always love to hear from you as well. So thank you so much again for any thoughts and prayers, and I hope you have a fabulous week of new opportunities that match or exceed the pure essence of your soul, bringing awakening and remembering of just exactly who you are. Namaste.